And a lot of detail that goes into that. Please, again, support these businesses. It's the whole purpose of why we're here tonight. And speaking of entrepreneurs, we have our new guest right now joining us, Carolyn Woody, owner of Lunar Cat Studios. And she's going to teach us and talk to us about origami. She is an expert. So just go get some scrap paper and get ready to do this.
Yeah. So welcome, Carolyn. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And I know that we've seen you at previous Beaverton night markets, and your work has been super popular. But for our viewers at home that are not as familiar, can you tell us a little bit about your origami-inspired work?
Okay. Well, I've been with the Beaverton night market ever since the very beginning. So I am a third-generation Japanese American. Origami is a Japanese art form. So did you know that origami comes from two Japanese words? So it's oru, which is to fold, and kami, which is paper. So put it together, and it's oru kami. And from that evolved origami, the word. So I try to utilize origami paper in different ways. I like playing with the colors. So I do some traditional origami folds and then a lot of more contemporary things. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great. Thank you for letting us know the origin of the word. That's I always like to learn those kind of things.
So that's
and
awesome.
I can see that you have some beautiful pieces here. Can you just tell us a little bit about it, please?
So this is what I usually take when I do a booth at a market. So up here, I have magnets that I back with origami paper. So I have large magnets and mini magnets. Down here, I have some cards that I make with origami papers. These here are modular origami. So the flowers are actually made out of 5 pieces of paper each. So I have to fold 5 pieces and put them together. And then down here, I have some pens that I embellish with a little bit of origami paper in there, just to give them, that way you know it's your pen when you buy one.
That's cool. Yeah.
And then I also have some origami angels that I have here, which I sell year round, because of course everyone needs an angel. And I like them because they're so colorful. And then down here, I have what I call my origami jewels. And those are just miniature origami figures I put on glass. And they're just something fun, colorful, a nice little decoration. And then here is what I call my maki origami. And that I call it maki origami to emphasize the curls. So this is another modular origami that is made out of 18 pieces of paper that are folded and curled and held together only by the curls, so there's no gluing involved. So those are just a few things that I do. Oh, one last thing. Up here, these origami map shirt ornaments that I make out of real maps and atlases.
Wow.
And they've been very popular.
Very
That's great.
cool. That's awesome. So how long does it take you to make one of those? I'm sure it varies a little bit.
It does vary a bit. So like these, the maki origami will take me an hour, but some of the more simpler things only take a few minutes. And I can go through folding an origami cat. So if people out there have their little sheet of paper,
Yes, please.
you want to take a square.
I'm gonna try fold my iPad. See if it works.
So you want to take a piece of origami paper. This one has a colored side and a white side, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to start with the white side up, and this point will be facing you, okay? So white side up. Then we're going to take that piece of paper and we're going to make a fold right across the center from point to point. So you're going to roll the paper up till it reaches that point there and make a crease. And in my origami craft kit, I mentioned a bone folder, and this helps make a smooth crease along the edge. It's not necessary, but it helps. Okay? So after you do this, next step is you have the triangle. We're going to fold from the point down to the creased edge in half. So you're going to make these 2 points meet, okay? And then you're going to open it up again. So you come back to the big triangle.
Quite a
Then we're going to
process.
take this
It is quite a
point
process.
at the top, just the top piece of paper, and fold it down to the creased edge so it looks like this. So you see a white square, okay? And then we're going to fold it back up. Next, we're going to take that and just the top 2 layers, we're going to fold it to that crease we just made. So right down here, so it looks like this. Okay, now this is the hardest step, but it's not that bad. We're going to make a crease here and here, and we're going to fold it up, and what I'm looking for your landmarks is you're going to go from this point at the bottom up to this very point up here, okay? Both sides, so it'll look like this, okay? Now that you have it looking like this, the last step is going to fold up this little corner, fold it up, a little triangle, there you go, and then flip it over, and you have your cat. And then
Nice.
if you're very artistic, you can draw your cat face in. So I
That's-
hope everyone gets into it, and let us know if you make an origami cat.
Great job.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's fantastic. It's just nice to see somebody that speaks of something with such passion, and it seems like you really care. Why is so important to you?
Well, it's I like educating people about the Japanese culture, and origami is something that I did ever since I was a little kid. My grandparents came from Japan to Hawaii, and I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and she's the one who taught me origami for fun, and then as well as some of the other traditional Japanese arts, like some cooking. Not that good at it, but some cooking, things like that.
Well,
And so-
watching you doing that remind me of when I was a little kid. Mi abuelito, he taught me how to make one of these bird thingies with paper. So-
Right, the little crane.
Yes.
But that's not a very easy thing to start with, so you were really good.
Yeah, that was the first thing I learned to make, and just totally failed at it because it was it was so complicated, but you make it look so easy.
So yeah, I do make little cranes, tiny ones. So for these, I start off with paper that's only 2 inches square, so only about like this big.
Wow.
But
That's talent.
That's awesome.
well,
That's
thank
talent.
you.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we've got a question from our YouTube chat.
Okay.
So one of our viewers wants to know, how long have you been doing origami?
Well, like I said, I've been doing origami ever since I was a little girl. But as far as doing a business like this, it's been, I think, about 20 years now.
Oh, wow.
It started off as a hobby, and then I sort of worked it into a business. But when I came to Portland for college, I didn't do any origami for a long time. But I ran into a group, an origami club in Portland called POPS, Portland, Oregon Paper Shapers, and they kind of reignited my interest in origami. So if you buy my craft kit, I do have them down as on the resource sheet there. So
Okay.
you can
Well,
contact
well,
them.
tell us a little bit about that. Where can we find your products? How can we get in touch with you if people want to learn, if you teach them? Just
Well, I'm currently not teaching any classes. I had been teaching through Saturday Academy, but that's on hiatus now. But you can always contact me through Facebook. I also sell these origami map shirt ornaments through my Lunar Cat Studios eBay store. And you can always contact me by email, and I'm sure that's on the website somewhere. So,
I hope so.
yeah.
I hope it is.
'Cause I wanna get a
Again,
kit.
it's thank you again for being here with us.
Yeah,
we
we really
enjoyed
appreciate it. We enjoyed talking
learning
to you.
and showing us those beautiful pieces and everything. It's fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us
Thank you.
tonight, Carolyn.
Yeah, thanks.
And boy, that's really nice. And you know what the thing is about this? It really costs nothing to make it.
Yeah, and
really.
it's a great quarantine hobby.
Right.
Right? Yeah, you can just do it at your, in your own home. So yeah, please purchase one of those craft kits. You won't be sorry.
Not at all.